Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte. Today, I am your host, Alan, and we are delighted that you've chosen to join us today. And whether it be on Zoom or on YouTube or Facebook or even like on our meetup page, like we are a wonderful community of welcoming peoples, and we are delighted that you're here. So I encourage you to go to our website, cslcharlotte.org, and subscribe so you can be connected to all the wonderful events that happen here at CSL Charlotte. So let me tell you a little bit about who we are. We are we are based on the New Thought teachings of Dr. Ernest Holmes. Dr. Holmes was a man on a mission. He combined all of the wisdom from all of the world's religions and combined them and baked them into a fresh, new way for us to look at ourselves and how we fit into into the cake batter in the cake mold. And having a wonderful spiritual community is like the icing on top of the cake. So we are glad that you're here, and we honor everybody here. You don't have to leave your philosophy or nature of knowledge. In fact, we welcome diversity. We you can you can call God whatever you want. You can call it God, spirit, love, life, peace. But whatever you call it, it's important just make time every day for you to do your spiritual practices because that's just what we believe here. So let me tell you a little bit about more about what we do. We are a community that believes in training people and in transforming people's lives. That way, that way we can expand and also share with the whole entire world the teachings of this philosophy. So if you want more, then feel free to join us for our Tuesday night weekly consciousness meetings. It happens at 6 p.m. on Tuesdays. So before I introduce our lead speaker today, I have a thought for you. Faith consists in believing when it is beyond the power of reason to believe, and is by French philosopher Voltaire. So now it is my pleasure to introduce our fabulous Reverend Rosedale. So come on up.
Thank you, Alan. That's the 18, y'all. He comes up with some great quotes all the time. Voltaire, I gotta look that one up. Faith is a powerful thing because you have to have faith like that. You gotta know that it's beyond anything that you can possibly imagine. That's where your imagination comes in. But we're going to talk about that anyway. So, welcome to CSL Charlotte. It's the Mind, Body, Spirit Center. And the first thing that we do at Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte, which is our spiritual community, is we open up with an affirmative prayer. But today, you happen to be getting a treat. You're in for a pleasant treat because Dr. Wanda, she is my beautiful sister and my friend, and she is a big fan of CSL Charlotte. Plus, she loves to do the prayer. So, because of that, you combine those two things. Anybody that can combine those two things in life with me, oh my God, we are the best of friends. We are real cool. So, therefore, you're in for that treat. So, be open and listen to her beautiful prayer as she gets in and brings it in to us. Dr. Wanda, make it happen.
Good morning, everyone. I am so excited to be here this morning to pray us in because I believe in prayer. Prayer has power, and the prayer reminds us who we are, helps us to recenter, to get back to that place of our infinite potentiality and possibility. So, what I know to be the truth is that there is one power, one presence from which everything has been breathed into existence. And I know that we are each imbued with a spiritual DNA that allows us unlimited possibility. There is a beauty and an order to the universe. And part of that order is chaos. Chaos is what allows us the opportunity to find our way back to our center, to know that from chaos, we came with the energetic force that was swirling and brought us into existence. And when we see chaos around us, that is the universe once again rebirthing itself, trying to bring something new into existence. And sometimes some things have to fall by the wayside in order to create new. So, what I know right here and right now is that we open our spiritual eyes, our spiritual center, and we look around us, we can see that thing that I call God in everything, in everyone. You can see it in a rose. You can smell it in the rose. Use all of your senses and know that prayer is not outside of you. You are the walking, talking expression. You are the prayer. You are the example of who we were meant to be, who we were when we came in. And we were given this opportunity to have an amazing experience, a spiritual being having a human experience. Not only us, but the universal presence itself is experiencing itself uniquely and individually experienced in each and every one of us. And so there is no two alike. You are all so special. And I am here to celebrate you today, to bring in the talk today, to be the light, holding the light for Reverend Rosedale as she presents to us a new possibility, new possibilities, a new possible path on our way to the realization of who we truly are. And there are many, many paths to that, but we are going to hear a special path from her today. And I'm looking forward to seeing her perspective on this, because she always inspires me. She always makes me think about it and see how that resonates with me. And so, right here and right now, that I know that there will be something that is said today that will resonate with you, that will elevate you, that will empower you, that will enlighten you. And so, I am blessed, and you are blessed to be here to listen to Reverend Rosedale today. And I am grateful for the opportunity to open up with this prayer. And so it is.
And so it is. All of you people out there in YouTube, welcome. But I want you to know, as you hear these beautiful prayers in the beginnings of each of one of the talks, take them to heart for yourself too. Just saying. So anyway, thank you, Dr. Wanda, for doing that, getting us going here. You know, our talk topic today is evolving our faith through the kingdoms. So, the reader that we have reading today is the fabulous and notorious JT, which means Jariba Trailer. Now, actually, I should be saying that name first, and AKA JT, but it's all good. And she understands who she is. She doesn't need me to tell her who she is. But anyway, enough, guys. Okay, I'm gonna stop playing. I'm really feeling good today, guys. And you know when I feel good, I'm gonna make you feel good too. So if you're open, you're in for a treat today, because what we got is a person who finds great readings, and this is JT. But here's what my motto for her: when she reads, I listen. Remember that when E.F. Hutton speaks, we listen? Well, that's what I do. So after JT's reading, listen to Led Zeppelin's song, Stairway to Heaven. Understand that this is moving in spirals if you can get there, because music is made for us to actually get what we need out of it to enhance what we already know. So the song invites us to reflect on our own journey through the four kingdoms. Just reflect. That's all we're asking you to do today. So now, JT, make it do what it do.
Good morning, everyone. Today's reading is an excerpt from The Four Stages of Spiritual Growth by Chip Richards, a guide for the journey from victimhood to true empowerment. Stage or Kingdom 1, To Me. The first stage of spiritual development is what Michael Beckwith calls the To Me stage. It's also referred to as the victim stage, as it is an early level of awareness where our primary perception is that life is happening to us. Like a child new to the world, or someone who has not yet claimed full responsibility for his or her life. In the To Me stage, we experience ourselves at the effect of the people and circumstances of our life. There are times in each of our lives when we feel like we are on the receiving end of challenges, opportunities, relationships, job assignments, etc. And while we may have desires for a different circumstance, at the time it really feels as though life is happening to us. Stage or kingdom two, by me. Even if we are fully justified to blame others for our current situation, there comes a time when we must realize that as long as we are making others responsible for our circumstance, we are giving away our power and limiting our ability to make the necessary changes. As we let go of the need to blame anyone, including ourselves, for where we are, we open ourselves to shift into our next stage of development, becoming active manifestors of the path we truly want or need to be on. During stage two, the by me phase of our journey, we may initially feel stretched or challenged by our circumstance, but this challenge is often what is needed for us to dig deeper and become a causative agent in our experience. This is a stage of the journey where we get to discover that we are far more capable than we realized. We are not victims of circumstance, but rather creators of it. Stage or kingdom three, through me. When we have worked hard at developing skills in any activity or endeavor, from music to sports to mathematics, there's a moment when we cross over from pure focused effort to a feeling of grace and flow with what we are doing. We may have been building skills and trying the same thing over and over for quite some time, when suddenly we go from playing the music to feeling as though the music is actually playing through us. We go from being the surfer, using our skills to surf the wave, to feeling the energy of the ocean guiding our flow upon it. From being the writer of the story to feeling as though the creative essence of the story itself is expressing through our pen onto the page. Stage or kingdom four, as me. When we let go of blame and move from our perception of life as something that happens to me, we begin to discover our true power and life happens by me. When we let go of the need to control, we move from our experience of life happening by me to discovering our connection to the greater powers of life moving through me. As we allow our individual expression to merge completely with the energy we are experiencing or creating in the world, we realize we are actually part of the infinite creative force of the universe, which is expressing and experiencing itself individualized as me. I am God, spirit, universe, nature, consciousness. And so I will close with a well-shared quote from Albert Einstein, which says, "We cannot solve a problem with the same level of consciousness that created it." And so it is.
Do you know that sometimes when he started that off, take a deep breath and remember what he said. Sometimes my spirit is wondering which direction to take and where to go. But just understand this as you breathe in really deeply and exhale and just like soak this in for a second. We have just immersed ourselves into this transcendent song of Stairway to Heaven. And just see, as we're talking today, spirals going up and down and all around, that there is no order in the way we move through these kingdoms. Now, first of all, what I want to do is I want you to know that we're about to move through the kingdoms, but we're going to do it with faith. Thank you, A-Team, for that fabulous emceeing that you did, because he hit home. I'm auditory and visual and all of those things, but I hear so well words. They mean so much and so powerful. So that first song just offered us a spiritual spiral to our own heaven. There is no heaven in the sky, so we don't look for that anymore. I remember I used to. And I would when we would fly to Florida as a kid, I would say to myself, hey, I don't see no chairs, I don't see nothing up here, I don't see no people. So what's going on with that? So then I started to realize it's all here. Heaven and hell resides here. And that's how we're moving through those kingdoms. The more we change that faith, you'll see what's going to happen, how you're going to progress through each one of the kingdoms. So I challenge you today to climb in to your four kingdoms and understand it with faith, with confidence, and a sense of purpose. With that said, guys, let's prepare for the talk, which is evolving our faith through the kingdoms. So wiggle your fingers and your toes, and as you wiggle your fingers and your toes, integrate your mind, body, and spirit. You just got to smile about the things you say. And as you float your eyes open, really, find yourself looking around and taking it real nice. And saying to yourself, hey, this is new, or that is new, or maybe I'm new today. It's a new day. Make it right. So again, I take my 2 second gratitude moment for the big A, the A team dude. He sure is, he rocks. Let me tell you, he rocks. Also, I thank you, JT, for your reading, because that reading really brought to life within me exactly what we're going to talk about today. Da-da. And also, the other thing is that prayer. That prayer got through my cells. So we got everything going on. We got in me, we got my mind, we got my body, and we got my spirit all moving through it. You know? So this is what we do know. We know that the law is the law. Now, here's what I want to tell you. You know how we have traffic laws by man who wrote those, and you know we have criminal laws that be broken, you know, stuff like that. But one of the things I noticed that we got to make sure we watch is don't use these laws to place people into any kind of fear. Use the law for people to educate themselves in them and use them for their purpose, right? The sense of purpose. It's the law. That's the law for us. So we at CSL Charlotte, we truly believe that there's a spirit, a God, or a power that operates through us in a universal mind. Now, you know, it's universal. Also, you heard what Alan said. It doesn't matter what you call that power. Whatever you decide that power will be, this is what we really believe here at CSL Charlotte. You don't have to say, oh, she said Jesus. Oh my God. So what? It's what resonates with him or her. Let it be. And guess what? We are constantly surrounded by this creative mind. It's the law. That's what this creative mind is. The universal mind acts, and it acts constantly, 24/7, 24/7, 24/7. Did I say 24/7? But it acts that way based on the thoughts, the feelings, and the emotions that we are using when we are putting out a prayer, when we are telling somebody something, when we are sharing some information, when we want a person to know how we're feeling. And so as we move through these kingdoms, you're going to see this week, oh, wow, look at me. I'm in the victim stage right now. And if you never find yourself in that, then I think you're a phony. I'm sorry. Because every now and then, if I'm upset with something that my daughter said or did, I'm in the victim stage. I have no business being upset with that. If a friend of mine says something to me, I have no business dwelling in that house, that kingdom. Just saying. So as we move through this, we're going to remove ourselves from feeling separated from this power, the law, and bring ourselves to being one. Now, you heard JT talk about the as me. Well, we're going to get there. But first of all, let's start out with the victim consciousness, the kingdom one. Everything happens to you. That's what you are when you're in that moment. When you're driving home after a hard day's work and you're saying to yourself, I can't believe they made me work all these hours for this. Oh, I can't believe they didn't do this right. And oh, I can't believe oh, my husband did this. Oh, that's victim stage. I'm sorry. Call it what it is. Because if you don't have time to be in that stage where you're creating, you're not in as me. You don't even you didn't even get up to buy you yet. Okay? In the kingdom, you blame everyone in Kingdom One. You feel no control of your life in Kingdom One. And above all, fear rocks your world right about here. Oh, we can't do that because they say, da da da. Oh, you know what? We can't celebrate Halloween because that's the devil. Oh, and if we're going to get struck down by lightning. I have heard that so much as a child. And you know what? I've never seen anybody get struck down by lightning for lying. I'm just saying. That's what lost its credibility with me. I was one of those, as I look at my great-granddaughter, she's wise beyond words too, because she may not speak, but those facial expressions be like, I know you didn't just try to baby me on that one. I mean, she's really wise. And so pay attention to your grandchildren and your children. These people are here just like we were, but see, they didn't see us that way. They saw us as people they had to put the fear in, and they called it what? What they call it? The fear of God. So we started out as victims for years because that's the way they started out. That's the way they were taught to be a victim. And then if they turned into an alcoholic or something, they call it a disease. But I say this, we do that. We put that drink to our face. There was no disease before that. See, it's you gotta put the blame where it belongs. Don't blame a disease for alcoholism. You know, don't blame the fact that what happened in slavery 200, 3, whatever, I don't know. Long, yeah, right. Don't blame that as to why you're not higher than where you are. Don't blame the fact that, well, you know, when we were taught, the reason why we don't make any money or the reason why we're not successful or prosperous is because this is what we were taught. Well, you know what you were taught, but you know what's right or wrong. That's victim consciousness. So notice where you are. It's common to feel that bad things happen only to you because people do that. And the reason why people do that is because you're alone most of the time. And I talked to someone 2 or 3 days ago and I said, when do you have these thoughts that all of this is happening to you? And she said, well, basically, I said, you got to think now. Don't just tell me I don't know because you're not paying attention. And by now, I'm seeing her for 2 months now. By now, you ought to know. So that's what I do. I tease people like that. So she said, it happens around 3 and 4 in the morning, maybe 2. I said, then those are your hours that you need to be restructuring the way you look at things. Change the way you look at things and the things you look at change. Because I know I always be talking, you know, when I'm talking to people, I'm always telling them, I'm getting ready to talk about that Sunday. And I keep saying it over and over and over because people are going to get the gist that, oh, she means come. You should come and listen. She really means it. You know, that's the victim. See, the victims still say, yeah, but that doesn't mean for me to come. You get it? Many people live in that place, Kingdom One, and they don't realize that, man, I can move from Kingdom 1 to 4 if I had the tools. Now, let me tell you a little bit about what you need to do to get into group. If you want to move, first of all, this is the way I started. I went in order because this is what I learned. And I started saying, okay, so the next thing comes to Kingdom 2. But in order to do that, you got to release shame, blame, guilt, or whatever the other nonsense that goes on in your mind that you feel that's holding you in that consciousness. Kingdom is a consciousness, okay? So whatever you feel that's holding you back. So this way, when you start to release that, you are transforming. And how does that happen? By some spiritual practices. But in the kingdom stage, you don't hear the word spiritual practices. You hear, oh, I got to do some work. Ooh, yeah. Victim victims don't want to work. They don't want to do it because if I do this, I got to exert some of this. Then I can't just sit here and no longer say I can't have it. I can't sit here and be justified for being broke. I can't sit here and fight for my limitations anymore because I did the work. Sound like I was drunk. A little work. Well, anyway, stage 2. Now here's where you realize that it's not happening to you. You heard JT. It's not happening to me anymore as much as it used to. It doesn't hurt as bad. Okay, now it's getting softer when it hits the heart. It's not as bam, you know. Now you become a manifester here. This is the by me. Life is not happening to me right now. So I am starting to understand that I need to release blame, shame, guilt, judgment, argumentations, and I had to do those things. But don't get me wrong, I still have to argue with some people. So don't think that, oh my God, no, that is not spirituality when you say that I'm passive and I'm just gonna. No, that'll never come out of my mouth to tell you that be good to everyone and let them walk on you. You know, I will never tell you that because you'll never see me do it. So I will never teach what I don't do. Okay. But Alan's laughing. You know, you got to be here to see this. So anyway, in stage 2, you gain control slightly. And then also what begins to happen, you start to accept responsibility. Now, hey, I know I want to get off these drugs or out of this alcohol, so I got to put this drink down. All right, I got to stop doing this. Or you give up blaming the system for your not having stuff, blaming the system for the world being the way it is, because all you need to do is change yourself, and you could change some things in the world. You could change the direction of a child who was going all wayward. That is why I became one of the biggest police officers that worked with youth in the whole Queens area up there in New York, because that was at some point that was a passion for me. I said, if we bring them up, and then it got into adults later on. If we could just help people that want to help, because that's the only people I work with, people that want to change, not the ones that say they want to change, but they don't do anything. They don't put up any money to it. They don't put the money where their mouth is. They don't do any work. They don't do any of the study, and they're afraid of everything. No. Those are not the ones that I can deal with right now. Somebody else can water the seeds to them or plant the seeds to them, and maybe they're watering enough to come to me, because I'm in my world and they're in their world where this is what I do. But here's what you do, which is big in the kingdom too. You learn spiritual practices. And here's the thing. You know you're in kingdom 2 when you utilize your willpower more. Remember how I just said in kingdom 1, once you get to work, you say, yeah, but I'm going to do it today. And then the next day you say, oh, I don't know. No, when you start to use your willpower and you start to channel your thoughts through some other force besides your own. We talked about this in the book study yesterday. Oh, how powerful that was. Because we did a 5-minute practice yesterday just to show people, prove to them that you do get these, what do you call it? What's the word I'm talking about? Oh, premonitions or intuitions and all these things. And people sure enough knew that, yes, I do get it. So now it's easy for me to help them to tap into that level where they need to go. Well, at least the people I worked with in California knew that this is how we used to do it, and it was fun. And we're going to show you. So come to our book study. You know, I just thought I would throw that at you. But then, okay, when you do that, you utilize your willpower and you channel your thoughts. You shape the way things are manifested in your life. That's kingdom 2. When you're in kingdom 1, you just keep going and getting slapped over here and slapped over there, but you don't shape anything because it's work. Because you got to change. And because everything looks so easy, 1 and 2, just a slight thing, give it up, the blame, give it up, the shame, give up, release, okay? And as you tap into your universal laws, you begin to realize that, wow, I'm doing a little bit better for myself. Now you have the ability to manifest things and you start to see that. Guess what happens here? Remember, I'm saying evolving our faith through the 4 kingdoms of consciousness. Well, watch this. You can make a positive impact on your own life the moment you have the ability to release all of those things that you have in your life. You know, I have had an incredible life. Now that I look at it, now when I was in the victim stage, I couldn't see it as incredible. I never called it credible. I thought it was ridiculous. You know, even though I was having a great time, I was out there as a police officer, just going around partying most of the time. You know, we would be in the bar from midnight to 4 a.m. We worked from 4 o'clock to 12 midnight, and we'd be in the bar. And that was a life. But you know what? That was not the life that I wanted. It just wasn't. But I had to learn that I want more out of this. That it had to come up. I had to say, this can't be everything for me. Okay. So in Kingdom 3, you're moving now. You begin now to get that stuff together. Now you say, wow, this world is happening by me. But here's the deal. By me is not enough. You need to begin to believe that God is, if not in you, is working with you, through you. You got to believe that. But somebody's got to tell you, or you've got to do some research or some studying. It just happens like that. And the thing is, I was so called in my power, this power to go and help these kids. I was so called that I was starting to go figure out books to read, or how I'm going to get through to them, and how I'm going to keep them from running away from home, how I'm going to keep them from stealing and robbing people at gunpoint, how this and that. I had to friend them, these little criminals. Yes, they were little criminals. And it's the truth. We called it what it was so they can come out of what they want and to be something else. I don't like that word. Well, okay, then you don't need to be a criminal then. Okay? That kind of thing. All right? So then what we started to do, what I had to do was go do this. I had to study this to try to come back and tell them every single week we would meet. But you know who was changing? Oh my God. Do you know who was changing behind understanding these principles? I had gotten a hold of these kingdoms long before I even knew what I was doing. I just used them onto the kids and explained that to them. Then when I came into this philosophy, that's when it really hit the boat. Now, I always say in my mind about Groovy G, I said, when she becomes a practitioner, she's going to be the one, she's a force to be reckoned with. You know why? Because right now she's playing real hard at it. You can't come and get into a class and learn by getting a license to be a bona fide practitioner in the way it really is. So if you're just going to go there and rub the surface, no. She is working on herself to get herself to go to those classes, to be able to get from it what she needs. Maybe it's just not time to go to the classes yet, because she tells me straight up, oh no, I'm not doing all that. I'm not reading all that. I'm not doing all that. But she told me the other day, and I said, interesting. I heard that book that you talked about. I heard it 2 times. I said, you see, she likes audible reading. See, so that's, like I said, when you're in Kingdom 2, by you is great to understand, but now you got to understand that something is working through you, and it's got to be believed that to some level, there's a God, there's a power, there's a source, there's a universe. I don't care what you call it. You know what resonates with you, you use it. Okay, now we're in Kingdom 3. Everything is happening through me. Guess what happens? Here, my faith is growing, my power, I got my chest out, I got my shoulder blades back. I'm talking yoga terms now. I tell everybody, chest out, shoulder blades back, right? Now you're in power. Chin is tilted slightly or somewhat, the crown is going straight up to the head. Now I'm in the mountain pose, baby. I relate all of this to spirituality. Once I get standing straight, erect, and then when somebody else like JT is guiding me through to move my body, I don't have to do all that talking. I just let her do it. And I like to do it too, so it all works. But I'm in 3 and 4 in my yoga practice. You see what I'm saying? When you recognize where you are, you begin to say, my faith is increasing in this kingdom. So now with me increasing my faith here, you think I could get some more money? Oh my God, listen to this. Maybe Tuesday or Wednesday this week. I said, I need to make more money because in South Carolina, I'm telling you, I don't play that. If the rates go up and people say, I'm out of gas and this, I don't sit there and agree with them. I make more money. So let me tell you what happened. There was somebody was telling me, yeah, the food price is going up. I said, well, I have to eat, so I'm gonna get that. So then I heard all of that, and I listened to these people in this group I was in. And sometimes you get their stuff and you carry it with you. Don't allow it. You'll be backing down to the spiral to the kingdom one and start going, yeah, the prices. No. So you know what I did? I went to 3 right away. And I said, Spirit, I need more money. Guess what I'm saying in Kingdom 3? You're working through me to get this to happen. That's all I said. I need more money. Okay, so by the next day, I woke up to an email that said, we are teaching this fabulous straight training that whatever. I said, okay. And where are they teaching it at? Oh, say, okay, so I'm going to go there. And guess what? They're going to be calling me to work in their studio. See, you gotta know. I said, that spirit telling me, here's your money. You have to know that if you say I want it, you better be in the right kingdom, and you sure don't want to be in fear going, can I? I'm just asking God. Oh my God, don't ask. Because if you're asking, you're a victim. If you're just telling it, listen to me, I need more money. Boom, there you go. I'm serious. I know it sounds so weird. So sometimes I'm in between that. So here's what happens in 3. I'm in between 3 and 4 a lot. So in 3, as you know, that is working through you. You are awakening. At this point, you are really building your faith some more, evolving your faith through the kingdoms, right? Then you are really realizing that, hey, I'm giving up control. Guess who got the control? Spirit. And so when I say to Spirit, I need more money, I just sit back and say, look, now I'm gonna go do this. Now here's what happens. 2 or 3 days later, no, not even days, maybe an hour or 2, you might get a little hint that says, yeah, well, you ain't gonna make the money that fast. Well, listen to me. Let me just tell you, Rosedale, don't tell me what I'm not gonna do. Now, I already put that out there and it's happening. I'm convinced, I am clear. So stop telling me what you think. And that's just the other part of me. And it's okay, I take her, she's my fear. She's the one that says, the reason why I'm stopping you, I'm trying to stop you is because I don't want you to fail. And then I tell her, I'll never fail. And then she'll start to go, oh, okay. And then she'll stop with all that. And yesterday in the study group, we talked about that. And people started to understand their voices. They began to say, I hear this, I hear that. Powerful. So when I realized that I'm in Kingdom 3, when I started realizing it as I was teaching it, I said, oh, wow, you're in Kingdom 3. I knew I was being beckoned to let go and to let God, and also to take some people with me, because that was something else I was listening to in another couple of talks I was listening to. Well, if you're going to be great, take some people with you, because you don't want to be the only one left alive. The same thing with me when I'm talking about my patches, the youthful patches that I live with. I want to take some people with me. So some people say, hey, I want to do that. I want to help my hair grow back. Oh, I want to clear my skin up. Oh, I want to make sure that I don't have all that scaly stuff on my skin. Or I want to live longer, but I want to stay healthy. Because see, here's the deal. People pray to say, I want to be over 100, but they forget the other part of it, but in good health. So those people that start talking that to me about 100 and stuff like that, now I'm saying, well, let's do this in good health. Why don't you use this? So then it's up to them. I told you I'm an entrepreneur. I'm not a person who try to convince. If you like, take. If you don't, leave. That's the bottom line. I'm not a convincer of that. I'm not a convincer of spirituality either. So I learned in 3 and 4 that if they're not there, let them go. It's okay. Now, every time I get the notion that my mind is not going to do what it has planned, I tell me, you already prayed for that. You heard me. You're in 3. You already prayed for that, or you already put that out there. Now zip it. Okay? Just remember. Now, know this. Whatever you call this power, it's all your choice. And number 2, Kingdom 3 begins to let you know that I am moving with something through me. Now we start to understand that. We can now relax at this stage because now we're starting to see, yeah, this is starting to work out. My faith is really growing to the point where, Now, when you feel ready to go on to Kingdom 4, then you will say, I like this idea. This is really good. Now you start to recognize, because I have learned over the years and through all the science that I read and through all the different things and watching all these people and all of those big time people, they're not all perfect. What it is that they recognize what kingdoms they're in all the time. So now when I start to do that, I say to myself, well, I recognize that God is just not working through me. God is working as me. And so when we get in that 4th kingdom, now, hey, it's as me. So therefore, I need more money. Therefore, I need to get a parking space because I'm not doing all this. I did all this traffic, I'm telling you. That's the way I talk. Now, you might be one of those people that I don't like talking like that because I came up like that. This is the way I came up. This is the way I talk. I protected myself all my years. I protected my sisters and brothers because I had to be. I was the big sister living in Harlem, a crazy neighborhood where they brought guns to people's heads and all this kind of stuff. Okay? So don't judge me because I'm rough. But I don't judge you because you're soft. Not soft, but I don't judge you because you think, don't talk like that. No, I don't do that. If you say to me, Rosedale, don't talk like that, I say, she should mind her business because she can't tell me how to talk. Because I don't tell her, you need to be tough, because that's not her. But I like it when the person just goes, okay, that's who you are. So that's when they know, when people could do that with me, could say to me, oh, you're right. That is your opinion. Guess what? We're both in Kingdom 4. Because we understand that there is a power that runs through us. There's a power that runs as me. There's a power that runs through me. And as long as I recognize that and I have a person with me, it's all good. And last but not least, before we get to our final song, what happens is in Kingdom 4, you are one with all life. People, places, things, right? And there is no separation. I know it would seem so easy to act like there is some kind of separation because we live in separate homes and we live in separate states. We are not separated. When we get together on a Zoom channel, we are in a spiritual container, a consciousness container. And I know people would like to say she's out of her mind, but you can say it all you want to. But I am not going to listen to you because you're in the wrong stage to be dealing with me. Not that you're in, I'm better. I'm just better than I used to be. You're the one who says, I think I'm better. And if you're the one that says that about me, then you need to get up out of that kingdom. Okay? Get yourself up there and say, I'm better than I was yesterday. Okay? And then guess what? You get the love and the peace of all life. So life unfolds as you. As you. And not only does that, we embody this truth here at CSL Charlotte. We are the ones who embody it every Tuesday night at our consciousness meeting. See, I got that to throw in. And our book study. We don't just talk the talk. We walk the walk. So if you're coming to really actually check me out and you coming to YouTube and all that good stuff, this is a perfect time for me to talk about this, then all well. then watch for me on my Facebook pages, watch for me on CSL Charlotte's Facebook pages and the group page, and you will see how powerful things are getting up, how things are heating up at CSL Charlotte. I think that, yeah, I got that in. I was telling Timmy P, I want to bring it up, but I'm bringing it. Okay, I am bringing all guns cocked to the world because I know how powerful this power is. Because guess what? I just told you what's happening with me. I said I need more money. Okay, now I got that group going on, the strength and another gym, huh? You know, and another gym. See, I keep remembering. Oh, you can get it here. You got the skills to do that. Oh, here you can get it. You can do this. You gotta let it open up. So I'm just saying. So if it feels overwhelming, here is a reminder. We constantly move through the kingdoms all day long, in and out. Sometimes we're at victim, and then we come out, we start to realize, hold it, you've been talking too long in that place. Get out of there, not working. Then you start to figure out, what is it that I want? Now, why do you think this is happening? Stop. And if I say that, guess where I'm going to end up? Victim stage. Because it's going to give me a whole bunch of stupid reasons why I'm not doing it. Oh my God, come on guys, let's get together. Let's do this thing. We can. YouTube people, everybody that starts to listen to CSL Charlotte, everybody that sees me on Facebook, start to know this is the place to follow now. We've got a great group of people here who is really open and receptive to everything and growing every day, evolving their faith through the kingdoms, evolving their faith through everything that we talk about. But this last song right here, oh, wait a minute, hold up, because I want to talk to you about how you go in and out, besides how you go in and out of those blobs, like through the kingdoms, right? I just want to tell you this. JT gave a quote, and this is one of my favorite quotes. And she said, we cannot solve a problem. In other words, what she's trying to say is that victim mind cannot solve a problem in the third kingdom or the fourth kingdom. Can't solve a problem over there, baby. That mindset, that's what she said in that quote, you know. If you can't be of one mindset and expect to be getting in a huger place, not gonna happen. Spiritual practice, talking to someone to help you understand how you can get in there, having a conversation with somebody that's trusted, that you care about, paying a coach that knows this, that really is sincere about it, because there's one thing about me, I am sincere about what I do, and I know it works. Nothing that I do flops, because it works. That's all I can tell you. It's science. When you put science into anything, it's working. So anyway, that all being said, I just wanted to get that quote off, because I said to myself, oh yeah, that quote really got me. And then I started thinking, so it's time for me to go, because I have things to do besides this today. So that being said, this next song, it's going to speak to our transformative power. And this thing is going to show that we have this power of love, and it guides us right through the kingdoms. But you got to use this music in terms of ways that really mesh with the things you hear. So this next song is going to talk about that one love. But it's just not saying one love. Really, when you say one love, don't just say it. Mean it, because it is. And let's get this next song in, and you'll understand what I mean by one love, one heart. Bob Marley, man, was a handsome, beautiful, and had a beautiful heart. I don't care what he did in his life. That's not my life. It's not my judgment or anything. But that man came out with some music that I think we should really pay attention to. So that all being said, Bob Marley reminds us that one heart, one mind can bring us together. And when it brings us together, it helps us individually to rise up against all of our life's challenges. All righty, okay. I mean, you know, I never let anybody not say what they want to say, so I think he made a point. You know, take your stuff down to Mo's. I love it. So anyway, thank you, Mo, for taking all of those times out and doing those prayers for our community. Oh my God, yeah. So that's fabulous, guys. You guys are awesome, awesome, awesome. So here's what I want to say now. It's birthday time. You know, we like to think about yeah. JT, me, Karen, my girlfriend Janice, she comes in here a lot. And she listens on YouTube a lot, so she will hear us do her. But you know what? We got birthdays coming up this month, meaning November. And when we do our birthdays, we honor our birthdays. I honor mine to the utmost, all the way until the January 1st, 2000, until we get to the next year, because it'd be so at the end of the year, and then the Christmas, I just be partying. But maybe I party differently now, but I still party. Oh, baby, a little bit better, honey. So anyway, that's enough. Just put your birthday in our chat anytime you get a chance, and you will see that it's a great thing to do. So now, I just want to get to, because now I'm excited, I just got to talk to my platform for a minute, my team for a minute, and tell them how grateful I am for them. Dang, they are backing things up all the time, all throughout the week. I don't have to do that. I can do all the other stuff while they're doing all that, keeping each other all connected and all of that great stuff. I don't need to be doing that. They're doing it with each other. So anyway, here's what I got to say. Grateful to you, all of you. Thank you for being there all the time, doing that stuff with each other and keeping each other happy. Now, here's the thing. When you come to this service every Sunday, you keep this service running smoothly. So first I want to give our MC his props. Alan, thank you for those notes that you gave, and then you got up and popped those last few words. And thank you for recognizing and bringing up some of the things that you just heard from the talk to redo it. And big thanks to Dr. Wanda for bringing this, to opening it, to getting us to where we are with that prayer in. And big thanks to our reader, JT, for busting open wide this talk. What was the talk about? Okay, you know what the talk about. I'm just kidding. Evolving our faith through the kingdoms. Okay, I knew. I like to play with you. No, I didn't. I just remembered. So anyway, Groovy, you are fabulous for behind the scenes. You notice, you take care, you make sure that we keep our stuff really well on task and on time. And then Melissa, all we did the other day was talk about how we are going to get this new stuff out there so people can get Timmy P to go and pull out now Timmy P, he happens to be our pilot. So Timmy P finds out things out of our videos, he can snip them out, put the snippets out that you heard him talk about in the announcement. I thank him for those fabulous announcements in the music. But here's the deal. He goes beyond measure and begins to do all those things. Already, Melissa has already recorded some of the things that were said in the talk, so that makes Timmy P's job so much easier. So come on, is this a well-oiled machine? Man, you guys, get it going. I mean, you love CSL Charlotte. You are definitely growing. I have to tell you. And thank you, Dr. Wanda. She was great on that prayer, and that was fabulous. And I want to make sure, but I got to give Timmy P his props. When he do those announcements, he makes sure we get it all. We know what's going on next week. You don't have to ask anybody. He knows. He's got it, and he said it. So if you didn't hear any of that, then listen back later. Or come back and call us. Yeah, get on. And you know what else? He keeps the website up. So if whatever he said, you can find it. So like I always say, what he said, right? So thank you, team. And then now, for the person who keeps the prayer line open, who makes sure that we get the prayers done, Mo, thank you too, because you know why? I didn't say it, did I? A community that prays together, stays together. Well, we have got to say that, but you know that. But here's another thing. If you didn't get a prayer request, a prayer mailed to your email, you did not put in a prayer request. I would suggest you do, because it will give you something like Timmy P said. You can reread it over and over. It's just something that'll keep in your mind instead of the stuff you're going through. If you're in that stage, that victim one kingdom, you're going to start to see that, hey man, this ain't it. But if you keep starting to say your prayer, you begin to move and get more information and want more information based on what you're hearing or reading about yourself. So just know you're powerful. You're more powerful than all get out. So everything is taken care of, right? All the thank yous, because it's important that you give people their props and their gratitude. And oh, wait a minute. I did say about the JT's reading. I think I got everybody. So okay. So now remember, as we close out, that today was all about evolving our faith through the kingdoms, the four kingdoms. There's this thing called the four kingdoms. And it's just a nice thing to remember because every single week I can come up with 1,000 and billions and gazillions of ways to explain this so that I reduce it to the ridiculous. I say that especially about my book. I reduce things from those big, long, galapalapa words to explain how fabulous this philosophy is and how powerful you are in your life. I reduce it to the ridiculous. So look out for my Audible too, because Audible is on its way as well. So you will be able to, if you're not a reader, you can hear it as well. And it will be my own voice because nobody can tell me better than me whatever. Whatever. So anyway, that's it. Guys, remember, evolving our faith through the consciousness kingdoms is so important. So this last song promotes self-reflection and personal responsibility. Remember I said, when you get in that second kingdom, you begin to get to the personal. But in order to do all of this, guess what happens? Evolving our faith through the consciousness kingdoms is simple. It involves what? Change. What is change? It is the only thing that's constant in this world that we live in. So that said, guys, let's get it together with this last song, Change. Yeah. If you were in the kingdom stage and your life seemed so unbearable, would you change? Basically, that's what she's asking. Oh, and before that's happening, let's let us pray ourselves out so we can get going. Would you change? Go ahead on, Dr. Wanda, please pray us out.
Anyway, what I'd like to say before I go into the prayer is this. It was a great service, great message. The overall message was that we are not at the mercy of something outside of ourselves. And as an indigenous person, we know that there are 6 directions. And once during the creation, when all creation was done, we did not want to be separate from Spirit, the great Spirit, the God, the Creator. And so we asked for a way to be always in connection. And so the Spirit gave us that way and created the 7th direction, which is in the heart. So that here is where Spirit is. It is not out there. We are always able to access it. And so right here and right now, what I know is there is only one infinite reality. And we can call it many names, not limited to God or life or spirituality or creator or the thing itself. Whatever that is, there is no limitation to what it can be called. And it is undivided, it is complete, and it is whole within itself. And as an expression of that wholeness, we are imbued with all the divine qualities in our spiritual DNA. We have the ability to create our reality, to create what we want our life to look like. And we can create it as to the level we have become aware in our own consciousness. And it's through love that we create. And love is the self-givingness of the universal spirit through its desire to express itself. And love is that undeniable impulse, the undeniable urge that cannot be denied because it dwells deep within our hearts. This is where faith is. And faith is F, finding I in T, the heart. Faith is finding answers in the heart. That's where we go. So when we go, we hold our hand over our heart. We know that we're moving from our head to our heart because that's where the truth is. That's where creation happens. That's where we create our reality. It is a creative process that is waiting for the impress of our thoughts upon it so that it can say yes, because it is always conspiring in our highest good. And the knowledge of that allows me to remember that I am always creating with my thoughts. So it's important to monitor my thoughts and develop the spiritual practices, to be the prayer every day. We can never be separated from it because spirit is unbroken. It is one, it is inevitable, it is eternal. There is no way out of it. We are connected in alignment and in alignment with spirit. We live our lives through harmony, equilibrium, and balance through the spiritual law. So right now, right here, I know and accept and claim that as our spiritual truth, as our divine birthright. And I allow it to be. I know that I surrender to that. I accept it. I claim it. I name it. There is no way around it. There is no room for doubt. And so right here and right now, I simply say thank you. Thank you for the opportunity once again to be reminded of that. Thank you, Reverend Rosedale. And thank you for everyone who appears here every Sunday and on Tuesdays for their consciousness group to check in, to be empowered, to charge up our batteries again. And so I just say thank you. And I remove my human hands from this prayer and I simply say, let it be.